To go into a bit more detail with the cultural dynamic model, essentially what we do is that we look at the business influences, the national influences, how they impact the work practices, and then overlay that on the strategic execution orientation. And what we noticed as we wrote our cases and studied those companies is that over time, what can happen is that as companies are so focused on executing their strategy, they completely forget about their culture. And the culture will start interacting with the work practices and change. It'll move from A to B without anyone noticing. With a bit of luck, it moves in the right direction, but that's not always the case. If it doesn't move in the right direction, you're in trouble. And if that trouble is based on strong national traits, which change very slowly, the management have to put attention to it immediately. So the three different levels of culture in an organization relates to the types of people you have and what they do. You have the front line that deals with the customers, the middle management that organize, and the top management that lead. Fundamentally and very simply, if top management is aligned with the front line and the people in the middle, most likely you have a good chance of executing your strategy. But what often happens is that the top management has thought about this for a long while. They know what they're going to do. They have bought into it. They turn around to the organization and say, execute this new strategy. But the organization doesn't really understand what it means. What does it mean to be a challenger? What does it mean to be more customer-oriented than we were before? What do we need to do differently? If you have a situation where the front line doesn't really understand what they need to do and why they need to do it, you may have a situation where you become ineffective and not able to actually execute on a beautifully thought out strategy.